Right, so hi everyone, welcome to the channel if you're new. The channel that's growing, I'm awfully proud of us. So, yeah, last time I looked, we're 952 strong. And yes, but I'm right, okay, so I want to get, so where do I start? You can tell it's Mercury retrograde tomorrow. So I'll do my quick intro and then I'll tell you why I'm laughing. So, not that we need a reason to laugh. And after the one that I done yesterday, it's a bit of a change in energy, isn't it? So that's what a good night's sleep could give you. Although I didn't really get a good night's sleep. I was very scarily like the woman on the Nine of Swords card that was having nightmares and couldn't sleep. And I told you I already have been like that. As I got guided to the card that says help. I think that's God having a laugh for me. Yeah, I did. I'll tell you about that. So anyway, my name's Claire, and this channel is about helping you on your twin flame journey. Because Lord knows we all need a lot of fucking help when you're really on that, and I mean truly on it, not just somebody that's like, "Help me, I want to find my twin flame." You know what I mean? It's no, you're no a real twin flame if you're like that. You know what I mean? You just know if you know, right? There's no fucking getting confused about it for Divine Feminine anyway. Divine Masculines probably. In my experience, definitely. They can get very confused who they're trying to like. Divine Feminine, usually not. There are some Divine Feminines I've seen that have got confused, but I can help you with that. Whoever you are, whatever you are, whatever. That's my thing that I'm good at. So it makes me wonder if False Twin Flame's going to come out when I shuffle these cards, because look, it's False Twin Flame sitting there with Twin Flame. So I'm not shitting you. That is what I'm good at helping people work out. What's karmic, what's twin flame, and also especially if, like what I say all the time, if you go through some quite dark karmic cycles with your true twin flame, because I can see how you can start to think this is not good, like that, you know what I mean? It's but it's an interesting one, and I hear you. Right, so oh yeah, that would be good. Like these wee Jesus-y cards, but I can only find two of them. Free them or whatever. I know I keep saying it, but I really today I just want to tidy this desk. So because I have tidied other parts of the office, so I just want to tidy the desk, right? So but what else was I going to say? Everything I do is channeling, clearing, healing energy. So you know the way that I've started this quite chaotic and all over the place, which is, hey, that's me. Like I said, I'm a hot mess. So welcome. If you're a hot mess, you're going to like it around here. We just go with the flow. But this is too funny as I get drawn to spontaneity. Yes, I am a spontaneous medium, a spontaneous healer, meaning that you can have miraculous spontaneous healing. Even if you've had back pain for 20 years, it could just go away with the healing that I do purely through the free stuff, by the way. That's true. That has happened before. Never guaranteed, but there have been a lot of miracles. And of course that happens in one-to-one sessions. I've got some miracle stories with them. And oh look, I've just put them down that way. Oh wait a minute, is that no? Here's some more of them. So there's look, ask and it shall be given. So the name Matthew might be significant too. I've already said, or also the 7th of July. I already know that Matthews and Matts is very common with a lot of people I've worked with over the years. So not everyone obviously, but so at least we've got a good few of them. So I'll give them a wee shuffle, just with it being Easter Sundays and films. Again, everything I do is timeless. So like I said, everything I do is channeling, clearing, healing energy. So everything that I say from the minute I've started this is going to have something to do with someone. So somebody else might be having a bit of a pre-Mercury retrograde all over the place day. So now I need to get into, where will I start? I'll tell you this before I forget, and then maybe they'll remind me to go back to it. So last night, it's a weird one. I like felt sleepy quite early on, right? Like I decided to give it a miss of watching the last After film. I wasn't in the right place to watch that because, like I said, I don't want to spoil what all happens if you're wanting to watch them and you don't know, because it's for a psychic and a seer as I am, it did give me quite a bit of uneasy feeling watching it, being like, how is this gonna go down? Do you know what I mean? And the last one is quite hard watching. You know what I mean? There's a scene where he actually gets beat up, and I had to mute it. It was made me cry. I don't like watching stuff like that. But Anyway, there's loads more reasons why, but I didn't watch it, so I might watch it tonight if I can be arsed. Just because then it does complete the me watching all 5 for the second time round. And I watched the second one 3 times because I watched that for anyway, like I said. So, and then I'm not gonna watch that. I'm not gonna say ever again. I'll probably watch it again when my friend comes round, and we'll probably have a marathon of at least a couple of them because she loves stuff like that too. But anyway, what I found interesting was I woke up in the middle of the night. And I'm not going to say it's a panic attack, and I'm not going to say it was as bad as what that guy experiences in those films either. But I feel they were making that happen to me to show me what's happening to either some of you watching or your twin flame. So obviously I hope this is not the case for anyone, but I know that it was because it's like I felt it. I just felt it really strongly. And I felt it when I was watching the films too. Like I knew the different sorts of things that they were telling me that some of you will be going through. And then like I said, there was just loads of stuff that really spoke to me personally as well, and not just me channeling the energy. But like you will eventually hear the end of these, by the way. It's just because it's so fresh in my mind, and I think they've even pushed right in front of the 50 Shades of Grey films, and I love them. I can watch them over and over too, but I'm like, oh, I fucking love these. I just love how intense it is. Like everything about how intense it is, that's me. I fucking love that shit. And again, it's like if you're like, God, this is sounding like me too. You know what I mean? So I'm just shutting that door. You've probably got some really kind of intense Juno placement, right? Like all of the way that they are with each other is so me, because I've got Juno and Gemini, so in the 8th house. So it's like, the 8th house is well, it's sex, and it's like, when you put Gemini with anything to do with Scorpio, to me it's double agent, it's detective work, it's digging deep for the truth, but it's also oh, no, I can't remember the term, but it's when you get turned on by like at the mind as well. You need that connection, and you need to be on the same page with someone about, well, the words that you use. So we'll not go too deep into that, will we? But you know what I'm saying? It's like it's just the way that they are with each other is definitely that kind of intense Scorpio, because it's actually, yeah, totally. I'm like, why am I going too deep into this? But it's because one of you is going to get what I mean. Like one of you must have not only a Plutonian connection, but you must be connected on the same sort of intelligence level, as in like, you're either extremely telepathic with one another, because that's the mind obviously, or um you're just I don't know, you might think the same about certain things. It's something to do with that, because you see what I mean, like the whole way throughout all those films are quoting things like fucking Emily Bronte. That's the main thing throughout the whole thing is, whatever his soul is made of, mine and his are the same. They say it throughout the whole thing, and they say other things that I don't know. I'm going to get them all mixed up, but it's, that's very well, it's romantic, and I've just noticed it's on the true love card there. So I will shuffle them, but yeah, just when I was waking up like that, I was right. So, I don't know how to explain. Bear with me. At least I'm in better spirits today, but bear with me. I don't know how to explain it, but it's important because basically, when I first went to sleep, I was having a bit of nightmares. It's important as well because what was the film that I watched? God, that's terrible. I can't even fucking remember. Oh, it was Barbie. That's what it was. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't impressed with Barbie, but I feel Barbie is very much. I don't know if I went too deep into this when I watched it, but I actually watched it on. I've not got Netflix, but when I was babysitting my nieces, I watched it with my sisters. But it was so funny. I was with my. I normally just babysit my own if I'm babysitting, but my mum happened to be there too. She fell asleep. So she wasn't impressed at all with it. But it was kind of like, I watched it and I was like, that was fucking weird. But I just saw all the symbolism in it. The mocking in it is insane. Like the things that they're mocking people with. Like there's even a bit in it, like they talk about like, the people that are brainwashed and the people that aren't. And it's so clear what they're talking about. Like they're talking about what they've done in the world, like the certain tests that they've done to see, right, who's going to fall for it, that you have to wear this to protect you from the certain thingy. Like we want to see how many people are actually daft enough to actually do that shit, even though it doesn't make any sense. Sorry, I know it's going to trigger folk, but that's what they're taking the piss out of there. I saw it crystal clearly because that's what I'm here to do. Anyway, we'll not go too deep into all the other shit. But anyway, I watched Barbie, and because I'd only seen it that once, and then this was the second time round, I did get the same downloads that I got the first time. The first time I watched it, I thought this is really interesting. It was like they were giving me an insight into what it's like when divine masculines wake up from a karmic partner. You know what I mean? It's like the regardless of your gender, by the way, but it's the kind of like, you know, feeling unappreciated, because the whole thing with, oh God, I'm going to start singing Ken. That song's so catchy, but, you know, he's like, you know, not feeling enough. It's like he just keeps trying to get a look in with Barbie, and she's just totally pieing, like she's ignoring him the whole time. She's pieing him. And I do feel that is what eventually starts to happen with divine masculine energies, regardless of gender. I don't just feel, I know it because of all the people I've worked with over the past nearly 10 years. It's that they start to feel unappreciated, or they start to realise that they've been really kind of unappreciated and dismissed and not treated very well the whole time, and they wake up to it. But yeah, it is, you know, although it's really funny, like there is that kind of undertone that it's like Barbie's been a bit of a biatch to Ken. And then, you know, and because there's a bit in it, what is it, like they take the piss bits, there's a bit where he's like, look, I live to serve you or something. It's like, I just live for you saying hi to me, something like I just said that 11:11. So you know what I mean? It's quite an extreme example, but it's like when somebody's just doing anything to impress the ego of their karmic partner. And I do think that goes on a bit, you know, like in twin flame dynamics, when usually a divine masculine gets involved with a karmic partner, they usually do tend to be, you know, flashy, actually Barbie type, you know, not even different. They don't need to look like Barbies. I mean, a lot of them can though. It's kind of that kind of, you know, everything looks good on paper, or these two people look good together, but actually, you know, behind the scenes, it's a bit like them. Like, you know, she's not really into him. It's all just for show, and then he's feeling unappreciated. So there might be something in all of that shit, right? But I watched it, and then, but it was more this time around. I was more getting homed in on the awakening part of it, you know, that, which I think is what most people would home in rather than what I just said. But again, I like to be different, and I just, God speaks to me through the films. But it's, you know, it's the whole existential crisis she's going through, and well, spiritual awakening and thoughts of death and everything. And I feel they were, you know, that was the message in it too, that there's lots of people which we know are going through that now on the planet. Okay, there's lots of us that went through that ages ago, but it never really stops, you know. Like I said, I've been sharing very openly about with just having been faced with lots of themes around death, going to a funeral, and then hearing of somebody dying my age and all this kind of stuff. It's although this is happening all the time, let's be honest, this is happening all the time. And I mean, I'm a medium, so I do, you know, I'm very connected to death in the spirit world, and don't, you know, I know there's another place after it, so I've never been afraid of dying myself. And but it doesn't mean that when people die in my life, I don't find it really difficult, because I do. You know, it's a different kind of, just because you can talk to them in spirit doesn't mean it's the same as getting a physical cuddle. So it's actually very like your twin flame if you think about it. Just because you can connect with them in your dreams and in the energy doesn't mean it's the same as rolling around with them physically and getting a cuddle and all that. You know what I mean? It fucking absolutely isn't. Which is why I've said before, those of us with a love language that is physical touch that have been deprived of not only true love, but the physical act of that kind of intimacy too. It's sometimes I wonder how I'm still alive, you know what I mean? And I don't mean, before you be dramatic, I don't mean like anything like that, because that would be an absolute you know, insult to what I'm here to do on the planet and who I'm here to help. Although I don't have any judgment around people that have chose to go that way, because it's when people are in a very painful place. And if you didn't, again, this is quite taboo topics I'm talking about, isn't it? But if you weren't aware of that, if you're new to me, I do actually bring through people that have passed that way, you know, very tragically taken their own life or something. It's because of that. It's because of having such a deep connection to understanding. Oh, anyway, that went really dark, but they did make me talk. But yeah, look, it's because I'm connected to Violet Flame and Saint Germain, transmuting energy and, you know, helping people, sacred sexualities, what I've just been channeling about as well. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. So how did I get onto that? So I woke up in the middle of the night and I wrote in my phone, it wasn't anything too deep, but I wrote Nine of Swords Nightmares. And what I mean is, it looked like, I felt like that moment when I was sitting up, being like, oh, that was horrible. Because I was like, oh, there was another synchronicity, and I'm not going to go too deep into this too, but there's another synchronicity I had too. basically, right, the gist of this is I very much feel like yesterday, the tricks of the mind from the devil, and the devil isn't one entity, it's like an energy that can move through people and things, and it's just to plant a seed of doubt and fear in your head. And like I said, I'd already, because I was actually feeling really low energy, I definitely feel channeling into the whole Easter vibe and what it's all about. I do feel I was more susceptible to being like it. Just I actually did manage to and again, I remember I've been, full disclosure, I have noticed that about myself, that if I'm addicted to anything, it is YouTube. Because I said that to my best pal when I was at ours on Friday. I was like, I help people with this, so I know. So I'm actually going to do some sort of self-hypnosis about this, because it's like, when you're doing something but you don't actually care about it and you don't know why you're doing it, and it's like people feel like that about scrolling Facebook a lot and Instagram and things like that, or your WhatsApp, or your um you know what I mean? Like, I'll just sometimes just go to my timeline just to see what's kicking about, and then I don't even watch any of them, but I'm just going to see, like, is any of them strong enough for me to want to watch it? And then I think no. And then I might just think, oh, I'll just put that on anyways, background noise. And I think, at some point I think, oh, well, it's just doing that because I like background noise and it's something to do because I'm bored. But no, you know what I mean? I more think that isn't healthy. Like, just don't do it at all. Go and fucking read a book, or even watch a film, which is what I done last night. But I know it is a bad habit, or like say slash addiction, because I could only go, it was quite a few hours, but it's not unusual for it to be. And again, like I said, like I was saying to my best pal, it's fine when I'm making the videos. That's fine. Do you know what I mean? Making the videos, and it's part of my business, and it's how I'm helping you and all that. But I'm not talking about it, I'm talking about the watching things. And it's like I said, I'm not even properly watching stuff. I'm just doing it. And so I think when I'm describing it like that about something that's not that serious, it's about how do you do that in your life or whatever. When I'm saying it might be the same thing. But again, whenever I share this, none of you seem to be like me like that, but whatever. I don't think people are telling the whole truth there, but actually a lot of the people that I've shared, I can tell you are, and you just, like even my friend does the other day, like she doesn't, she's one of those people I think that just goes on YouTube to find something like how to fix the washing machine or something and then comes off again. Do you know what I mean? And some people are like that, but I'm not. Like yeah, very. I was on this platform right away, and although I wasn't doing it right away, I've dabbled with things like that, and I'm very good at just supporting people with it, with all of this. Yeah, I do know what I'm doing. It might look like I don't know what I'm doing sometimes, but I do. I just do it my way. But anyway, what I'm saying is, I know that actually, whatever that's all about, I don't like it. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely weaning myself off of just not watching anything at all. And of course, it's really key with the Twin Flame journey too, because if you are watching videos about Twin Flames too much, you're still in an energy of 18/4, my birthday numbers. Hate saying this. Oh, I said the word hate. I don't like hate. But it's annoying having to say all the time. But if you're new, 18th of April, when you break it down, with my year of birth and everything, it is the Four of Wands, which is the union card. So, and I am a union channel, so I generally am bringing through ones that are going to be ending up talking about a union, or like, love stories. Sometimes it's love stories gone wrong. So anyway, I kind of feel like, I'm a bit annoyed with all that, kind of like, why does that matter? But it must, because I'm talking about noticing either bad habits or, like I said, addictions. Because with me, I do think that is a bad habit. I do think it is a bit of addiction. I've noticed it for quite some time, and then I'll just feel, oh, it's not that bad, it's not that bad. But you see, that's denial. So isn't it funny? I mean, again, it's not the first time I've said it, but I'm just being honest. So I'm working on that. And basically, the other thing, so yeah, and it was just when I was waking up like that, I thought that's like what that guy does. A way less extreme example of it. But it was like I was being, God, right, the synchronicity, I thought, I'm not going to say exactly go into it, right, but it was just something that planted the seed of, it was like, it would almost be like, right, I get visions when I'm awake, and I get visions when I'm sleeping, and they just come me all the time. But I knew it was like things to like to make me worry and fear the worst and all that kind of stuff. And I thought, well, this is great. You don't really want that right before you go to sleep. But what can be confusing is you're like, right, am I tuning into something that's actually happened, that's going to happen, or is this the devil trying to show me my worst nightmares kind of thing, right? So, and then I actually had nightmares, right? Now, this is why it kind of turned around, because then when I fell asleep, when I woke up this morning too early for my liking on a Sunday, but it was like, I woke up at 8 in the morning exactly or something like that. When I looked at my phone, I thought, fuck that. I thought, that's no happening. Went right back to sleep and I didn't wake up again till 12 on the dot. So I thought that was quite funny. But the first time I woke up at 8, I was like, what the fuck? And again, I'm not going to go into all the details, but it was a dream that felt really real, and it did hot, and it was my twin flame in the dream, and all I wrote was, he was less cryptic and now talkative. Sorry, I'm just laughing. And the thing is, he is fucking talkative with other folk, right? He just fucking isn't with me very much. But it's kind of like, I just thought that was quite funny that's what I got from, but there was still mystery. And remember, my one's a Scorpio, so there's loads of mystery there. But I'm a Scorpio rising conjunct Pluto, so there's mystery in me too. Touche. As it reads 21 minutes, hilarious. If you know, you know. But 21 minutes is the world card. Lessons complete, coming full circle. Karmic cycle is completed. And there is birthday numbers as well, hilarious. And I'm not looking at the timer the whole time, but they just told me to look up, and I looked. I knew it was going to be that. And then there was something else that happened in the dream too that it was interesting. It was like, how you just, oh God, there was loads of random stuff that happened, right? But it did make me laugh. It was just, it all means something, but I don't think I need to tell you the rest of it. But I just told you that, so it might have relevance for some of you. And like I said, most of that dream was quite nice actually. And it felt, I don't know, it was kind of weird, and there was random bits. And then there was a surprising bit as well, where it's like I was asking somebody, or it's like I was saying, oh, I know this kind of thing. And then it was like someone was saying, no, you've got that wrong. So that'll be really interesting to see if that actually, I don't know, starts to make sense and not real, like, in my everyday waking life. So again, I know that's really, see, I've been cryptic too, but I don't always tell you my dreams because they will just be for me. But with this one, although it did have my twin in it again, and it's not like I don't dream about him every night. I definitely do connect with him in the dream time, but this was an actual dream. You know what I mean? Then when I fell asleep again, but again there was, so that, although that was a nicer bit, it was mixed in with, before that, I must have been having, it wasn't nightmares, but I was just waking up in a bit of a panic, like what the guy does in those films, just like with what had made me feel a bit uneasy. And like I said, the way that I stand on that is, this could be symbolic of you actually are getting visions of stuff that is making you feel uneasy about things for a reason, like it's true basically. Or it could just be you're thinking the worst and they're playing on your fears. So it's each to your own, I mean, I don't know either for all this shit. I've got a fair idea, but we find out one day when it all comes to make sense. But either way, right, you kind of, the one thing I've been reflecting on for quite some time, but definitely the other day I was thinking about that really strongly, is what is the biggest lesson that mine has taught me? That I can't control things. Like, I would never want to control him, and I would never want to control any guy that I want to be with. I don't want to control anyone, right? But it's like, I mean, in the sense of, when somebody's that free spirited and they want to do what they want and be who they, just basically live that kind of life where they want to do what they do and they don't want to be tied down with any one person or any one thing or whatever. It's very Sagittarius actually, and he's got heavy Sagittarius, because I know, because of the day he was born. It's that's what it's taught me, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, it's just a bit of a fucker for me that I'm in love with somebody that's like that. But again, I can also see that I'm like that too. Like, I don't want to be tied down and told what to do by anyone either. But it doesn't really quite, not in the same way. Like, I do want to be that bonded to somebody, that they know all of me and I know all of them, and you feel protected and safe, and you can still, have your separate lives and do your separate, but you don't need to worry about not being able to trust somebody and all that. Again, I just think, isn't that everyone? But it's not. Like, there's loads of folk out there in the world that are what they don't know doesn't hurt them and all that kind, and that's not for me. Like that's what I mean. That's my kind of worst nightmare stuff. Um, and like I've said before, it's often that is the challenge with twin flames, is that you will be quite different like that, and you have to kind of, when the both people are on the same page and you want to be together, if either both of you or one of you has been that kind of way where you've never wanted anything serious and all that kind of thing with each other or with anyone, and with some people it might be like that where nobody's ever been, because that's me. If you think about it, that's me. Like, I've literally, how crazy is it that I've literally been single for 21 years this year? And oh, that brings me very nice. Again, this is one of these ones where I'm like, where's all this come from? But I've just been on the phone to O2 because I just had this strong, I've had this strong, overwhelming feeling now for a couple of months that, well, really for longer than that, but definitely for a couple of months, that I wanted to change my number. Now that's a big deal because I've had the same number for 24 years. I had to do the maths on my calculator, but yeah, like I was like, oh my God. So it means that like all the karmic people from my past have still got my number, right? And and I mean like all of them. It means like that any kind of random guy that I might have given my number to, which is honestly not a lot, if I'm being honest. Although I'm about to be 40, it's not a lot because it's, I don't just hand my number out willy nilly. Like, I was never into the whole Tinder and all that pish of the day, and and like I've told that story before, that I was on Tinder for one night. It wasn't even for a whole day, and I actually went past my my twin, which was was weird because it's not that, that's not that common that would happen. But it was my pal. We were all pissed, and it was actually her that installed it on my phone. They're pulling me the word Atlantis when I'm saying this, and that's quite funny because I did catch a documentary about Atlantis over the weekend there, and I was only half paying attention, but there could be, again, I'm not going to go into past life stuff today, but I'm just saying maybe I will once I tidy this desk and later on in the week. But so you could, so you, if whoever's going to resonate with this, you could be connected to Atlantis and you and your twin in a past life, and now they're pulling me the goddess Isis cards. I mean, God, fuck, talk about going off topic, but they are pulling me to it. And then I also got guided to, I found a Mary Magdalene. Well, it was actually, I think it was more about Jesus, but it was specifically the bit where it was Mary Magdalene washing his feet with her hair. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm shit at history and stuff like that, right? And that's what can be kind of cool about when I'm channeling this. Like, I won't know no logically, but then I find out. And a lot of people have said they really like that about me, right? But I like as well when I meet people that know, and one of yous, you'll know who you are, had, when we were in a session, had actually said that she'd had, that she just basically said about that. And I was like, oh, right, I didn't even know that. And then that's what was being shown in that documentary. And only watched a bit of it, but it was just basically all about how Mary Magdalene was made out to be, a prostitute and everything. And it was actually all really quite interesting. And it was just, what was interesting to me was the bit about how you could live your life a certain way and then be forgiven, and born again, which is very appropriate. Now it feels more in line with Easter Sunday. But it more was like everything I watch, I'm like, the more I'm very connected to Mary Magdalene, but the more I fucking see synchronicities like that, I've said this before, I feel more like the Jesus bit, because like I am very forgiven when people betray me and Judas me, and when I've been reflecting, I'm like, wow, this has been happening like for the past 20 years. Like, people just fucking, you think you think you know somebody, you trust them, and then they just betray you. And it's with things, it's like, if you just fucking told me the truth, it wouldn't have been that big a deal. But it's when folk lie, I'm like, what the fuck, man? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's but again, I've since obviously studied all the different things that I've studied, and I know I do get, when people do lie and stuff, it can be a bit more complex, and I do understand it more now, but it's draining when you're on the other end of it. But anyway, so there might be things about betrayals from friends and or lovers and karmic and twin flame and all this kind of stuff going on for me to say it like that. But did I get everything out there? But yeah, but what resolved the kind of the energies that were trying to get at me? Now, whether it's like things, I'm being shown things and it's actually not from the light, and it's like energies that are trying to, basically, it's like, it feels like someone or people trying to break my spirit. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, when you feel like you're turning a corner, it feels like an energy's trying to break my spirit, which is quite horrible, isn't it? And this is what I protect. This is why I pray all the time. This is what I protect people with. Every day, I'm no word of a lie, cross my heart and hope to die, right? I pray every day. And I did say that. I pray every day for me. I pray for my twin flame. And I extend that out to my family, his family, people that I don't know in his life. I pray for. They probably fucking hate me. Let's be honest. I think the hate word is needed there. I don't know, and I also don't know why. But it's like, I do, you know what I mean? And it's like, and I don't just leave it at that. I pray for my friends and friends that I'm not even friends anymore. I pray for like, I always say the same thing in my head, and like, and the soul family, you know what I mean? Basically, that's what I was getting at. Like, I pray for yous every day, and it's like, and it does make a difference. And actually, the same person I was just saying that there, that program had reminded me of what you'd said. I really loved it when one of you actually said, you know, I've actually felt you praying for me. Like, I've felt it. And I loved when you said that to me. I was like, that's amazing, isn't it? Like, when you can actually feel somebody sending you that, like, praying for you. Because I do, like, I'm not talking shit, I do it. But yeah, when I went to sleep again at 8 and then I woke up, the dream that I had then was really interesting. Again, it's going to be a bit cryptic again, but generally they want me to say it so that it was about forgiveness again, but it wasn't me, my twin flame. It was like, I felt like somebody reaching out to me, and it was like it's like they couldn't communicate with me literally, so like they were communicating to me, my soul. And then, and it was just kind of, it was interesting, you know, it's one of these ones where actually it was kind of nice, but and anyway, well, the point is, I think it's quite a rare story that I'm telling it. It's like, it was like a past person, but like, it was like we were resolving something in the spirit that might never actually be resolved for real, but it was just resolving something in the spirit. So I do think it's probably like, you know, lots of people going through their own dark night soul or rebirth, but there was definitely, it felt genuine. Like, it didn't feel like, you know, it didn't feel like a kind of Judas betrayal kind of action. It felt like kind of what was trying to come at me to think the worst was then being resolved by seeing the light in people. And what I'm trying to say is, even if people have done stuff that's not so nice, it was like it can be forgiven. So, and I just felt an extreme heat on my foot when I said that. So I really do feel that's some kind of guide coming in there for grounding. So again, I've no idea what that's going to mean to anyone out there, but I just sort of wanted to share, because I share enough that when I have a dream from karmic anyone from my past, it's often like there's a frustration in me anyway to be like, fuck off, do you know what I mean? Like, just like, sorry to say it like that, as I pick up the devil card, you can't make this shit up. But it's like that, you know what I mean? It's like yeah, I am a bit like fucking leave me alone. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be getting shown things from my past all the time. But look, it's on 33 minutes, so it's all going to mean something. It always means something, but yeah, it felt really quite nice. So what I'm saying is I hope that that's going on for you as well, where it's like, if you are feeling people from the past reaching out to you, I hope that you're resolving something in the spirit, even if it never gets resolved in the physical, because just because we're not in people's lives anymore, it doesn't mean we don't love them, care about them, and want them to be happy. Of course, there's lots of people out there that are fucking in bitter energy and shadow, but we pray for them too, because it's just, a lot of the time it can be down to the way people have been treated themselves by families or other friends, or, you know, blah, 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 a little bit probably why they got me to talk about Barbie. But yeah, then after Barbie, I watched, if you're keeping up with how I'm ping-ponging all about the place, started watching Bridget Jones, and I had to turn it off, because again, it was like, I kind of watch that all the time whenever it's on. It's easy watching. But you know how it's like the whole thing where the Daniel Cleaver, you know, oh my god, how amazing, that's an amazing synchronicity. The reminder just came up on this phone again about changing my number, and that's to remind me to tell you the story about that I can't fucking do it just now. Well, I could, but I'll tell you why I'm not gonna. Yeah, he lies to Bridget Jones and says that Mark Darcy slept with his fiancée, when actually the truth is that it was him that shagged Mark Darcy's wife, not fiance. So you know what I mean? So that's quite a big whopper to tell. So I knew that that was them just giving me the nod that there has been, for whoever's going to resonate with this, somebody has lied about you to your love interest, which would be a twin flame in this scenario. And it could possibly be that it's whatever they have said that you've done is actually what they've done. It might not be exactly the same, but it's something. I just know that that's always my sign for that. So, or it's just in general. There's been a lie told, and now they're pulling me the word witches because it's witches kitchen cards that I've got. And again, it's oh my god, wait a minute. I think I'm not a fan of these cards, but I always get them for when this stuff comes through. They pull me the box, and now they're pulling me the actual cards, and that's a miracle because this place is pretty messy. So let's see. Usually when I get guided to these, the gossip card appears, and look at what I was talking about. So maybe this is some kind of gossip recently or from the past that's coming to light. It wasn't true. That whole storyline where the masculines are finding out that they've been lied to. These cards are massive. Why did I just see that and get? But again, just generally, whatever comes out here, I do feel it is like it's like when I was talking to one of my friends like the other week there, you know, she'd used that sort of expression. It's like a coven of witches, you know what I mean? Look what the picture is on the thing, you know what I mean? This is why I don't really like these cards. But I don't go extremes of, oh, I'm going to burn them or give them away. I'm like, fuck that. I can transmute energy really powerfully, right? I'm using them for good, so to see what's going on here. But there's been some sort of gossip, so let's just see. What is this by witches? And witches meaning not in the good sense. It's like people that have done black magic, spell work, which is the equivalent of lying, gossiping. What do we need to know here? Expansion. So yeah, but what I'm getting from that is it could be, you know, the soul expansion, awakening, waking up to the people around you that aren't genuine. But I'm more feeling it's like someone has told a lie and it's grown out proportion. Power. Yeah, look, it's gained some sort of power. Sleep, lavender, but how interesting is that I was talking about my dreams? And so maybe there's things, yeah, I do think there is something sort of, people could be coming to you in your dreams for either forgiveness or to tell you I'm realising something like that. Reconciliation, oh my god, well that's definitely about twin flame reconciliation. Or reconciling differences with karmic people, because now I know why they got me to say that. Although I was cryptic about what I was saying, it was definitely... Well, I think I've kind of... I wouldn't say it fucked me up, but you know when it's kind of like... I've had a few... But this is what is weird. I've had dreams like that in the past where it's like... It feels forced. It feels like someone's spirit's reaching out to me and it's happy things happen in the dream, but then I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck am I? It's like I'm waking up from a spell. I'm like, wait a minute, what am I doing with you? Like, I don't want to be with you. I don't want to be anywhere near you. Why am I with you? Like, and I'm not talking about romantic here, but like I have had that before as well, where I've had karmic guys from my past, and I'm like, and they're in my dream, and I'm like, what the fuck? And that, I do think that is like a spell when you're like, well, why? I don't want to dream about this, and it's because they're dreaming about you like that. Whoever, when it's coming in like that, but this wasn't like that. It didn't feel like, you know, it was when I woke up, I thought, that's why I'm saying I think I'll find out what that's all about, you know, later down the line, is that it feels like, it felt nice. It felt like reconciling something, but not in the way of it needs to be in person. It's just like, I felt at peace and I felt the person felt at peace. So it's kind of interesting. It's kind of like, you know, this might be extreme, but it's kind of like if somebody dies, but you had beef with them when they were alive, and then you make peace with them in the spirit world. Like, I bring that through the time for my clients that, like, say, like, you didn't get on with a parent or a grandparent, and then, like, they die and they end up being one of your guides. That's actually loads of people watching. It's interesting. Kind of like that. Faith, yeah. Have faith that something's turning around here. And, yeah, recovery. There's some sort of recovery after... I think it's recovery after betrayal. So just relax, chamomile. And that's what I'm saying to you. It was interesting. So it was like, just to clarify, it's like I've had uneasy synchronicities that were making me feel like upset and like shit, and it was definitely that energy, like the devil energy. Do you know what I mean? It was like, you know, I'm kind of like, fuck off, I don't want to see this stuff. and it was especially through YouTube, you know what I mean? It was like I was just getting drawn to all these horrible titles. And like I said, unfortunately, it doesn't mean that they're not true. It doesn't mean that you're not getting drawn to it for a reason, but some of you just might not want to fucking know. Do you know what I mean? Like, you just want to find out the actual truth rather than thinking like some general reading is yours. And like, you know, I've said that to some of you before in personal sessions, whether it's mine or anyone else's. Don't be tying yourself so much to a general reading and making it yours, because it might not be. So don't do that. I think a lot of people, myself included, have been guilty of that. You can do that. Don't do that. You know what I mean? And also remember that it could be picking up on something that, yeah, that has happened, but it's happened a long time ago, and the person's went through a spiritual awakening, and, you know, it's all sort of going to be, look, there's going to be peace, fortify, aphrodisiac. Let me just look what fortify means. I always forget what fortify means. But I feel, look, ambrosia, aphrodisiac. And what was that one? Peace. I think there's going to be some kind of peace coming about. That sounds like a union of the sexual kind coming about, but which obviously they all end up being that, because don't listen to the people that are like, oh, twin flames aren't always sexual. You know, it can be anyone in your life. What a load of bullshit. That's somebody that is talking absolute mince. Right. So when your defences are, oh, look, this is what I said, that I was getting drawn to things that were making me feel shit. Like I said, some of them might be true, some of them won't be. When your defences are down and you're feeling low, allow me to strengthen your weakened resolve. Don't be fooled by pretty, dainty petals, for I have the power to enhance your immune system. It'll help you boost your clairvoyant and psychic abilities, restoring energy to enhance, raise your cone of power when working ritual magic. Right, okay, so, although I don't like the wording of that, yeah, and look what I'm doing, I'm telling you about my clairvoyant visions, so whatever you got from all of that, that was a little bit random, but that's me doing my thing. So now, before I forget, and I'll shuffle these, no, I don't think right, so it was the one from when I'd done it before. Let's get these round the right way. Yeah, like I said, I was really getting this overwhelming feeling to change my number, right? But I was thinking this is kind of awkward timing because it's Mercury retrograde tomorrow, so I just had it in my head, right? I'm doing it tomorrow, like meaning today, like yesterday. I was like, I'm doing it tomorrow, but I kind of felt like I bet you I'm just going to end up inquiring, and then I'm going to end up doing it after my birthday, because if there's some kind of complication, and at first when I spoke to the first guy, he made it sound like it was possible, right? Which it is. The reason it isn't, what I'm saying is, it's like, because it's not just any birthday and it's my 40th, it's like I kind of thought it's a bit of a shame if the people that, it's not people that I've fallen out with, it's just people that I've kind of lost contact with, which there aren't loads of them, but, you know, there's a few, and then if they message, you know, they might think I've blocked them or whatever, and I thought I don't really want that kind of shit. But to be honest, I even think there's a good chance that I won't even get happy birthdays, because and I'm alright with that. I do think it's, you know, it's a lot. I'm not going to get the boohoo violin out here, but it's a lot to do with my ADHD, dyslexia, and all the dyspraxia, all the rest of it. I just find it really overwhelming, and just with the amount of spiritual changes I've went through over the past 5 years, really, and more, it's yeah. Like I said, I am very much a hermit, and that is what it is. You know what I mean? I know who my closest friends are, and that's why you hear me saying best. That's why you hear me saying best friend every 2 minutes. And even when I'm saying that, I'm talking about different people most times. But I sometimes don't even see those people for like a couple of no usually longer than a couple of months. But, you know, I can easily do that, because I'm so engrossed in what I'm doing and everything. And actually, a couple of my friends I'm talking about, they're actually really quite similar to me like that. And like I said, that's what's that works for me, because it's just yeah, it does. It just works for me. Do you know what I mean? But that's why what is missing in my life is, you know, I spend time with my friends. I spend time with my friends. I spend time with family. I spend time alone. What's missing is the man. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about in a codependent way, because I actually teach people how to untangle themselves from codependency. You know that? Do you mean? But it's kind of like I said, when you watch those films, you'll get what I mean. I want something like that, but the healthier version of that, or I don't want anything at all. And I feel And that too. I want to be extremely telepathic with them. So like if you're at a party and you're both not feeling it, you just sort of give the look and you know to leave. That's the kind of relationship. And it's quite funny, I'm laughing because I've got that kind of telepathy with my best friend that I was with the other day, but I've had that kind of telepathy with quite a few friends in the past that aren't actually in my life anymore. And they always had strong Scorpio in their charts, which my best friend that was with the other day has as well. We're very linked in that way. Like whenever I'm crying or upset, she just seems to know. Like for instance, she texted me the night that I'd been at that funeral, and I hadn't even told her that that person had died. I'm like, because it all sort of happened that quickly. But she just knew, she just sensed it. And we're just very like that. And it's not like she's not massively into all this stuff that I do, by the way. She'll listen to it. She's a brilliant listener, but we're like that with each other. And but yeah, the long and short of it was, I feel all that phone drama, because I was on the phone for about 45 minutes. It was going to cost me 500 quid, right, to transfer the number to be a pay-as-you-go one. And the only reason why I was doing that was I thought it's a bit shitty timing, because at least if I do that, I can just put that in an old SIM kicking about, and then I can go and check it and it would be more than every now and again, because I use my old phones for doing things. So I'd see it I would see it at least after a week or something, probably sooner though. And that the guy made it sound simple, but then when the call got cut off and I phoned back, it wasn't that simple. So basically, when I need to change my number, I just need to say goodbye to the one that I've had for 24 years. So it feels very symbolic of it. Feels like quite a big deal. You know what I mean? Like it feels like it's like the podcast that I share all the time, that I shared recently about having to grieve the old logo in that company. I'm gonna have to grieve my old number. But then I thought about it. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of the time, other people just wouldn't want to change their number because, what if such and such gets in touch? The obvious one would be, what if my twin flame suddenly decides that they want to talk to me and I've got a new number? Well, so fuck. Some people's twin flames are a Scorpio and they'll fucking find you. Do you know what I'm saying? Trust me, they'll find a way. Or they know. Do you know what I mean? So and again, when people do things like what I do, it's really not hard to use your skills to find someone. But so I'm not worried about all that jazz. But I just feel for the whole sort of, it's a bit of it, because again, if I'm honest, this might sound really antisocial, but I was actually really quite desperate of sorts to change my number before I got the happy birthdays from people that were going to be fake. I don't want it. So if anybody's watching this, lurking, wanting to do that, thinking they can pull the wool over, there's your, don't bother. Do you know what I mean? And that's how much you can tell I'm not in my ego. Like, I don't care about the, I've went through all of that. Like, when I actually did part from a lot of people in my past, I went through the sort of Christmases and the New Year's after where it was like quite quiet, you know what I mean? And it's you weren't kind of getting all the Merry Christmases and all that back and forwards, and actually I found that a lot more peaceful. But it's the ones I was getting, it was genuine. And like I said, full disclosure, I'm actually not the best. Like, I'm not the first person at Christmas and that to be like, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I just want it all to be over. So I'm just usually I don't ignore somebody if they say it to me, but I'm not the first one to do it. Do you know what I mean? And that's not out of pride or ego, it's out of overwhelm. So that's why I suppose that's maybe quite a good insight for people, like, not to judge people that you think someone's being rude. Like, a lot of the time it was giving me anxiety before I've even done it, about the whole sending a text saying this is my new number. I've actually, think about it, that makes sense. I've actually never had to do that in my life, so it makes sense that, like, I find that quite stressful. Even though it's not a big deal, because literally the people I've got in my phone book now, and I wouldn't even be sending everyone that I've got in the phone book, but you know what I mean? It's like, it's people that I speak to regularly enough anyway. But I want my WhatsApp back. That's what I want it for, because on my normal number that I've got now, fuck knows what's waiting for me there, but I don't even want to see it. I'm not interested. So if I just get my new number, I just want to fucking start again. That's what it's really all about. And like I said, I spoke about my best pal, and then I've really sort of sat and contemplated myself, like I said, for quite some time. And I'm really, really wanting that new start. But the whole point is I wanted to get the new number before the Mercury retrograde tomorrow, because I thought, if I end up changing it during, I might change my mind. And this very long-winded explanation is basically an example for you to be like, even if I do decide to change it right after my birthday, because the Mercury retrogrades until the 25th, and then it actually lasts into May. So it's highly likely that, yeah, I will be changing my number in a Mercury retrograde. But it's not a mistake because I've already decided it before we went in, you know? So that feels like symbolic for if you had wanted to contact someone, whether it be to resolve conflict with karmic energies or to resolve something with your twin flame, and then you want to do it in the Mercury retrograde. I just reached 50 minutes. That might be significant for some reason. And 50 breaks down to 5, which is big changes. It's not, you're not going to regret it if you'd already decided before. You know what I mean? So, like I said, a bit of a long-winded explanation, but I was going to say pissed off. I'm not pissed off. It must be meant to be. And I think it is just so that it's like, right, I just do it after my birthday. The only reason I'm thinking is because it is just a bit shan if, like, maybe I've not caught up with someone in like a year or a couple of years and they want to say, like, happy birthday, and just, you know, and then it's, and but apart from that, I'm like, nah, fuck it. So I think it'll probably be, if my birthday's the 18th, I think it'll be whatever that next full moon is. But I wonder if some of you are going through, because like I said, that is massive for me, because but it feels really good. Like, it always used to creep me out that, like, I had some random, especially random guys, but like I said, there's not a lot of them, but like, just pure fucking randoms of the day that you've met. Like I've been at a lot of workshops and courses and that where, you know, nice enough people, but I just, you know what I mean? No, although I do this, I am really private as well, and not everybody gets to know my shit, and that's why, you know, when I have had big betrayals in the past, when I really do cut somebody off, it's because they talk about stuff that they shouldn't have been talking about. Like, it wasn't yours to talk about. And that's happened over the past couple of 20 years. Like, with everybody I can think of that I've parted ways with, it was literally for the same reason. So it's going to be a bit Jesus, except Jesus was all about forgiveness. But the thing is, I'm a bit like the way of, I do forgive. Like, obviously I do for things that have happened like fucking 15 years ago and stuff, but I don't need to be, you know, I don't still need to have the same person in my life, but I just, that's one of the things I take really seriously, is because I do, when people, like, I say this all the time, but I can think of people that I've not been friends with now for like over 10 years, 15 years, and I'm taking their secrets to the grave. Like, I haven't told people their shit. So, and then I've had more recent things like that where somebody tells me something personal and I keep it to myself. Obviously I have to, because I'm a counsellor too and it's my clients, but I mean, like, I've had many experiences like that where I'm keeping loads of people's secrets, and people must be shiting themselves with people from my back, but again, I'm not going to tell folks secrets, because I wouldn't do others what I don't want done myself. But let me tell you, it still fucking happens to me. So I feel it, I know it in my bones, and then I actually find out about it too. So, but send forgiveness to people, because it happens. But it's kind of like, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of that whole, when you're best friends with somebody and you tell them everything, and then you end up being strangers. And it is, I've seen memes like that before, where it is a bit of a weird thing that you can have somebody that used to be your best pal walking about out there and they know your deepest, darkest secrets. But I suppose it goes both ways, but it is an interesting one, isn't it? I feel there's just a huge theme of betrayal in there. But we are on the day of forgiveness, so... Right, anyway, so that was all a lot of energy, so I'm going to bring this to a close, but what do we need to know here? Cherish your relationship. That card for me always comes up when it's like somebody's going to cherish you after, well, not cherishing you, basically. So pay attention to red flags. Oh my god. If there was ever any doubt about putting this one out, because I've been doing that a lot recently, so I'll need to see when I watch it back, but I think it's fine. It's all over the fucking place, but they're always all over the place. Pay attention to red flags. Look at the community tab. I literally posted the red flag. The signs are cautioning you. I feel this is about somebody genuinely, when Divine Masculine makes up this one, whoever's going to connect it, they want to come in, they're serious, because that actually looks like a wedding dress. That looks like a bride and a groom, and that I always sort of just notice it at the end when I'm saying that. So either way, whether it's literal or this is just somebody realising that you're their spiritual spouse, their twin flame, their kingdom spouse, whatever of these words you want to use, I personally feel that's the same fucking thing. Some people think different, but I think it's the same thing. It's who God chose for you, so it's the same thing to me. But I feel this is caution, you know, I feel this is how some divine feminines are going to be like, quite wary. But you don't worry about all of that. It's kind of like what I just said about the number. Some people would do stuff like that to see if someone's going to chase them or for attention. I'm saying it out in public. I'm not doing that for anything to do with the twin flame journey, or even karmics on the journey, which, you know, I'm not going to lie to you, at certain points in my life I have wondered to do that, and I thought, no, I'm not letting the feeling of somebody making me feel uncomfortable lead me to actually go as far as changing my number. But if it came to that, I would. I just chose to use the block button instead, which I don't like using either. But it's more for me, it's about a brand new start, and it's actually just practically, I can get my WhatsApp back, and the people that are in my life that I trust can stop moaning about me not being able to get pictures and shit like that. So it's like, two of my closest friends always say, like, you're the only person I text, you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, I know, everybody's got WhatsApp, but whatever. I do miss that a bit. I used to like it, but it's a little bit like what I'm saying about YouTube, it's addictive. Right. What else? The right person will make the effort. That's the point. Obstacles, yeah, they'll overcome the obstacles, and then there's a happy couple as well. Look for ways around the obstacles to find happiness. And remarkable, there's a lot here about union. Like, look, there's you could really connect through music as well. Oh, and that, they're just reminding me of the song, maybe the James Arthur one that I love, that I mention whenever it comes up, was on my alarm on silent when I was on that phone call. So I just noticed, so that must be relevant. Notice everything remarkable about your relationships. True love comes when you least expect it. That was the one that was on the top at the start. And power. The power of love is like a magnet drawing souls together. And labyrinth. Even when you're lost, there's always a way through the labyrinth. And I do feel that's to do with the obstacles and the confusion and whatever that was about lies and stuff, and embrace your love and connection and rejoice. I feel that's about two twin flames coming through the obstacles. So I might use this as the thumbnail. It's like, I do feel there's been a lot of obstacles here, but you're going to be able to get over whatever they are. Which I'd like to think is all of us, guys, right? So where's the feminine at then? Oh my god. And it's the healing separation card, go within. And it's in reverse, so I do feel that as saying this is a union coming in pretty quickly. Again, like I always say, I know it's annoying. It doesn't mean quickly as in from the day you're watching the video, but it could be for some, because I don't know when you're going to watch this. But it's just, if this is all resonating, you can let me know. The masculine. Yeah, look, wow, because the masculine's got Divine Masculine. And can I just say, this is actually very like one that I filmed on Monday that it didn't feel right to put out at the time. I think it was just because of I can't remember why, but there was a reason why I was like, doesn't feel like that's meant to go out just now anyway. But it was kind of similar. It was, and it was annoying because I actually did pull, I said, I done what I just done there, but I pulled Divine Feminine for Divine Feminine, and I pulled Divine Masculine for Divine Masculine, except the masculine was in reverse, and I felt it was saying the masculine was in distorted energy, not awake and not ready. But so this is quite nice that, like, the feminine's preparing for union. I would take that I don't always read that card, but preparing for union, feeling it coming in, and they're right, because the masculine is showing up as the Divine Masculine. And yeah, following the signs. And I feel both are being led to one another. Their mirror. The mirror reflections, karmic purge. And again, that really does fit with, I feel, with the after films again there. That's what you see throughout the course of those 5 films. It doesn't matter if they spend time apart. Now, they're not spending years apart in that. Maybe in the last one. I don't know how long they're meant to have spent apart in the last one. It might even be like a year or something, but I don't even think so. I think it's maybe like 6 months or something. But whatever it is, it wouldn't matter. Even if that was real and it wasn't just a film. Because again, I've seen people when I've like saw their videos about them, I've seen people like, it's like one of them ones where everyone wants them really to be a couple, and I can fucking understand it. It's very believable. And because they're really young, so they're not, so they're meant to be like 19, I think they're meant to be 18, 19 in the first film, and then because it's like it ran for 5 years, they're meant to be like, 21 or something in the last one, or maybe a bit older than that. But I think the actual actors are like just now around I think they're both the same age, actually. They're either both 27. Yeah, I think they're both about 27. So, which is usually how it is. An actor's always usually a little bit older than the age that they're playing. But I just saw the card that says, I cry sometimes. I've shed tears over the connection and I was in denial. I'm sorry I hid my real feelings for you. I have always been in love with you and I'm a coward for not admitting that to you sooner. I'm gaining the courage to tell you face to face. Sorry, I'm laughing because she knows us behind it again. So like I said, that one, it's a standard joke with me in this deck that card loves to be lurking somewhere. So that can be a romantic ex or a romantic current partner, or it could be a family member that doesn't like you, or a friend, or it could be fucking all of them. But yeah, there's females in this person's life that don't want you to come together. So and then I just passed, I'm sorry when I said that. I'm sorry I wasn't there for you when you needed me. I wanted to be, but I was afraid of letting you down. These ones, it's always the same ones. I watch, I'm your secret admirer. I watch your social media, I search for you online, and I sometimes try to be where you are. Oh, okay, stalker. But it's kind of like... sorry, but you know, the card does sound a little bit like that, but it's basically, it's getting at that this person might act like, oh, I just saw the happy birthday card, but this person might act like they don't give a shit, but actually they're keeping a very close eye on you. And look how funny that is with what I just said about if you are in similar things where you're like feeling you want a change and it's about you and you want a new number. Don't worry about things like that, because it's like what and look what I just pulled that when I said that. I've changed. I'm moving out of my old circle of friends because I don't have the same beliefs or morals. I've changed and I want more from my life. That's basically what I'm saying. I don't care about getting a new number because all my friends have fucking changed too. And it's like, and even with that, although I'm saying that about my birthday, I really actually can't see anybody saying happy birthday from my past, and I don't want them to either. Do you know what I mean? Like, genuinely. And that doesn't obviously count for my twin flame. Obviously, that would fucking make my day if I got a happy birthday from him, but I'm not going to hold my breath because I'll probably fucking die. So, do you know what I mean? Sorry, that was a bit blunt. But it's like, yeah, I stopped doing that a long time ago. Couldn't give a fuck that it's a big birthday. That means nothing. We both went through that before 21st and 30th, and actually, I don't know if I've told that story before, but I think I have. I think I have in a live. But when I had my 30th, I actually made a point of, which I hated. I hated, like, that. I'm definitely not going to put, I just hated it. If I ever have a party, it'll be because it's me and someone. I just don't, it's just awkward as tits. But, and I saw that with my friend recently at hers. She actually was like, you know, I don't want to say anything. I'm not going to have to, just fucking say, like, you know, thanks for coming, you know, have a drink and, you know, enjoy yourself. And then that's literally what she's done, because that's all you need to say. Yeah, I actually texted mine and said, look, I didn't invite you because it's awkward. It'd be awkward for me, it'd be awkward for you. People would be, well, they wouldn't be wondering who he was, they'd know, but like, I mean, they'd be wondering who he was, yeah, and he wouldn't come anyway. That's the point. I knew he wouldn't, but it hurt me to not, because it was through Facebook, you know what I mean? You just, and I was fucking, I don't know, because I knew there wouldn't be a lot of guys there anyway. It was like, I did sort of extend it to other guys from school and that I hadn't seen for ages, but it was just, and he did text me back. I think he said something funny. I know what he said, actually. I think I said what he said once, but I'm not going to say it again. It's not really bad, it just makes me laugh. But it was, and there's no fucking way I was getting an invite to any of his parties, let me tell you. I don't think that would be going down very well. But, yeah. It's sad, isn't it? It is sad when it's like that, when you were close. Right, I just went past, I want you. I can't help wanting you sexually. Your energy excites me, and your body and mind turns me on. Wow, look at what I said about how they are in that film. It's not just sexual, it's like they're connecting at the mind. I want you right now, and I don't care about anything else. That's what I'm talking about. Ladies, do you hear me? You know what I'm saying? We need a bit of that going on. I need you. Your love and powerful light guides me home. Thank you for sending it to me. I do feel it and need it now more than ever. You give me hope that I can be happy again. And a heart. Sometimes when I think of you, it hits me so hard just how badly I've messed it up with you. Will you ever forgive me? Well, that's kind of beautiful on Easter, but I think we need to wrap this up now. So, I think we need to wrap this up now. That might be wrapping up a karmic cycle. Real feelings. You share your true romantic feelings worth exploring. Unexpected connection, opposites attract. I feel this divine masculine's kind of shocked by their feelings that have come on full force. That feels connected to what I channeled in yesterday's video. Freedom, healthy space and room to breathe. That sounds like when I was saying, like, look, you know, that's definitely how my Twinflame is. So I just leave him to it, and he can just take the risk that I'm going to want to hear what he's got to say whenever he decides to talk to me again. But and fearless love, a courageous leap into the unknown and friendly support. Fairy guides and friends give aid. Guided steps to great love. Follow the path of ascension. And oh, I just remembered. Oh yeah, I just remembered. Sorry, I said I just remembered too many times there, but I'm actually I shouldn't have, but because I felt a bit down, and I got, not just me, I got us another deck of cards, but it's got words on it, but it's got pictures too, and I've wanted these ones for ages. And it's not like they're not loads of money or something. There's 20 quid or something, or just under that. And but yeah, I'm excited for them to come. So there might be another one that goes out the same day, or I'll use them tomorrow or something. But let's just see, how is the feminine feeling today towards the masculine? Empowered. Oh, woo. Different. So again, I wasn't expecting that, but powerful, capable, and strong. So that's how the feminine's feeling. How's the masculine feeling? I kind of do feel that. Peaceful. This is nice energy. Feels different from, it feels like it moved through a bit of a storm. Calm, serene, and centered. So the feminine feels empowered towards the masculine, ready for whatever, and the masculine feels in a more peaceful place, but a vulnerable place. Defenseless, unprotected, and helpless. I feel this is because the masculine is really in their feminine energy, and then I just cut it at vulnerable for it. So both feel vulnerable. Both are feeling, but it feels like strong. It feels like strong and ready for what comes next. And what have we got now? This is a big jumbled up mix. Jesus is in the mix too. Let's see what comes out. What do we need to know before I actually pull one of them? What's on the bottom? Decrease, but it was in reverse. So you could find an increase in your finances or happiness or love or all of it. Where is the feminine at? Where is the feminine at? Now, I just done it any old way, one of the random ones today, and then I'm going to get this desk tidied up so that I can be ready to be sitting in the chair like my wee storyteller self and see what stories come out each day, because that's what they want me to be doing. The star, that is fucking beautiful. Yeah, look, the feminine is like, I'm feeling more hopeful and optimistic after coming out of the dark, and I know that my light is guiding my divine masculine out of the dark. And I just want an equal give and take when they do come forward. And the masculine is coming out of Hanged Man and coming out of Spying, because that is my Spying card. That's also gossip too, by the way. So, with what I've just said, God, right, so again, it does fit though, doesn't it? It's like, there's definitely been some sort of gossip, or there's been gossip about the connection, but because, and I feel it's the masculine has contributed to the gossip, or they've not done anything to shut it down. They've either created it or they've not done anything to shut it down. Okay. And but they're coming out of Hangman. What's behind that? It does fit with everything I've said. And I feel that's towards a Queen of Wands, a fiery, passionate woman. Yep. And then that's also, look, feeling creative, inspired after her death and the rebirth. This masculine's ready to drop the burdens, and I feel it's the burden of hiding how they feel about this Queen of Wands. Change the whatever, it doesn't need to be a Queen of Wands, and it's like, yeah, and I do just feel might be a bit of delays to moving forward with that, but that's the way it's going. Like someone's what's behind that? Yeah, look, the feminine's staying hopeful and optimistic after also coming out of dark time, but just knowing that it's like there's going to be delays because we're going in a Mercury retrograde. Not always. So yeah, look, and then that's delayed messages. But then, oh my God, betrayal. Fucking hell, Ten of Swords. Masculine's got that. I mean, I'm sorry, but this is crazy. Like, that's why they got me to use the tarot. This is actually what I've channeled, and this is so on point. And it's so connected to all the synchronicities I've spoke about actually in this video. So if this is speaking to you, it's probably just confirming stuff. Don't make it yours if it's not yours. But the feminine is like, look, there's delayed beginnings, delayed messages, and like contact after betrayal. So the feminine's feeling this. Even if you don't know why you're feeling it, it's like, but there's happiness. So, you know, it's confusing, but I do feel that there is going to be a happy ending here with, oh my God, there is going to be a happy ending here with your divine masculine, but it's coming after some kind of painful betrayal that has had you stuck in your head, stressed out, worried, feeling the worst. And yeah, over someone that wasn't given equally. I'm sorry, but it's definitely what I said. Somebody has, I'm going to say it harshly, but somebody's fucked you over, and it's not just somebody, it's your masculine's contributed to some kind of gossip when they've been in an unawakened state, and that's what's had them in that kind of place. And then, but it's like when they wake up and they're you know, they're going to, well, explain themselves basically, but it's just the way you explain it. Someone wasn't awake and now they are, but it doesn't mean you don't say sorry, right? Right, what does this masculine want to say in their own words? And let's be wide. I think I did just say that I want to pull. See what I mean? They got burned. They got burned in the process too, because it nearly went in the candle. I want to make things right, and I really do care, even though I don't show it. So it's something connected to. Someone has outright said, "Do you still like such and such, the twin flame?" And they've said no, and they could have added to it like, "No, they're crazy. I don't feel the same." I just looked at 111 as well, alignment, or it's gossiping about other stuff that yeah, and it's going to make sense here. It needs to, and I sabotage. It's all part of that. I'm laughing because of how much it makes sense. It's not funny. I'm sorry if you went through this, but again, a lot of us have went through similar or this. I sabotaged our connection because it was too intense. It was all due to that self-sabotage. In the moment, this person is thinking, you know, their fear and their ego is telling me it's not going to happen with them anyway, so I'll just do whatever the fuck I want. That would hurt them if they find out, but they're not going to find out, and even if they do, I don't care because I don't want to be with them, and maybe that's for the best. That is seriously how I think some people's mind works in that moment. But then they go to that, I'm afraid that I lost you forever. And that's the contradiction. I want to treat you the way you deserve because I've been manifesting you. So it's just, you know, somebody battling with themselves, and now I realise all the mistakes I've made. I'm not going to pull any more of them, but I fucking love those cards too because it makes so much sense with what I already channeled. For fuck's sake, what have I picked up here? Right, so let's just put them over there now because right. Right, let's see. So I'll pull one of these just in honour of Easter. So fucking hell. Talk about Easter Sunday. It certainly is. Betrayals and forgiveness and all the rest of it. Thou shalt love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. I've spoke a lot about the soul and the mind. Interesting. I will not leave you comfortless. I will come to you. Oh my God. So you see, that could be the masculine coming to comfort the feminine. Love one another as I have loved you. Again, let go and let God. Right, so why did that... Wait a minute, what does that say? Because that just sort of fell on my foot. Obstacles, yeah. They're just saying there has been obstacles. There's been major obstacles, not helped by gossipy fucks around both people. And like I said, your twin flame could have actually been one of the gossipy fucks, so... Or you could have, depending on who's watching this. So forgive yourself and just see the human drama in it all. But if there's apologies that need to be made, it would be wise to make them. And there we go. The soul flame, twin flame card, Radha. Rediscover a lost part of yourself, experience relationship, harmony and healing. Yeah, whatever's went down here, it can be healed. But there's major shit that's went down. And it'll be a great achievement. One that I feel many people will be jealous about, because I really do feel that looks like some kind of, I don't know if it's maybe like a wedding or a big birthday or something. It's something like that. It's something that somebody would be jealous of, I think. Intuition and manifestation, planning and action. I feel this is this masculine now making the plans, following their intuition, And playing it safe was in reverse. That's what we want to see. They're not playing it safe anymore. There could be something to do with a child here. Now, this can be children already involved, or this can be, which it is for a lot of twin flames, or it can be that there's a child coming in. Again, like I always say, don't take that if it doesn't resonate, but it's coming through. Higher education, it's all been lessons. Right, as I said that, learning experience, and green tarot, supreme protection. You're protected, cords are being cut, move beyond limitation, and trust. Trust that the cords are being cut to the pain in this connection. And Dharma unfolding. Remember that you're on a path. Take one step at a time to happiness and peace. Yeah, and that card is always to me about true love, because look, it's two swans, and it's like that person's like, am I ever going to get this? And I feel that's both twins, a divine feminine and divine masculine. I feel that's both being like, is this ever going to come about? Judgment. Yeah, look at everything I've said. It is what it is. If this is making sense to you, either you've been wronged by, or you're the one that's been doing the wronging. But you've probably done that to one another. Well, you definitely will have done it to one another, but it might not have been as extreme from the feminine to the masculine. Behind a mask, someone was living a lie. They were behind a mask, but they can see clearly now. Psychic insight. Your third eye's open. See the truth for what it is. Follow your intuition. And loss. But that can also be if you're a feminine and you still feel your masculine's out there doing you dirty. Like, see the truth for what it is. Pay attention to red flags, you know. Like, I feel that's what that message is. They're the one, it's their loss. Like, they now feel tied to a life that they could have had. Like, they could have had the sailing off into the sunset. And it doesn't mean that they can't ever get it again, but that might be true for some people right now. Like, generosity, like, don't keep giving to people that are taken, like, energy wise. Definitely don't if it's literally, but it's kind of like that isn't, I don't think I attract people like that. You know, when you catch these general readings where it's like, this person's coming after you for your money and that, like, well, I don't fucking need to worry about that. Do you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure that's one of the reasons why you fucking stayed away, because I'm not because I'm not like that, but I'm also not a fucking money grabber. Do you know what I mean? And actually, it's yeah, like I've said before, I find that highly unattractive. Like, I do, but that's with twin flames all the time. There's always somebody that's really about the money and somebody that doesn't care about it. So it's usually how it goes with all twin flames. But anyway, I always click off because I'm like, that's definitely not me. Maybe at some point, you know, and maybe at some point it's I'm going to be, well, not maybe, I know that I'm definitely going to be in a better place like that, because it's just, it all comes, you know, when you're spiritually abundant, it does all start to make sense. And usually, and with my placement in a bit of a crazy way, it'll all come together. But I feel this is more like, don't keep giving your energy. You can love and you can pray, but don't, because he's praying, but you don't keep chasing after somebody that's giving you fuck all back, basically. Diana, focused intention. Think about what you desire, set your intentions, expect the best possible outcome. Yeah, expect the best possible outcome. Archangel Michael's protecting you. These are actually two guides I work very closely with. Diana and Archangel Michael is always with me. And you, trust in heaven, you're safe, angels stand close, surrender your concerns and allow a miracle to occur. And I feel that's what I'm feeling here. Whatever's went down here, whether you're aware of it or not, or you just sense it, there's some major shits went down, and there's going to need to be serious conversations had, but I feel miracles will occur and you will be able to come over it if you expect the best possible outcome for both, the highest possible outcome, and you surrender how that comes about and you just allow the miracle to unfold. And it's just beautiful that I'm saying that on Easter Sunday. Oh my God, believe, yeah. So I'm going to leave that the good, yeah. I'm inherently good. Just see the good in people, but don't be a mug about it. You already know the answer you seek. Trust what you know. Fear in reverse. Somebody's putting fear in reverse. Somebody's putting their fears back. Oh my God, guys, look. Love it. Right when I'm ending the video. So yeah, there's miracles coming about when you believe. Look at that. Believe in miracles for Easter. Oh my God, can you even see? There you go. Yeah. Easter, and we get Christ and miracle. Beautiful. And also heart awakening. Awaken to acceptance and divine love, give and receive in balance. And that to me is like the Six of Pentacles as well. So I think I'll just leave it at these two. Is it in the shop? don't think it'd be a minute. There we go. It's in the shop. Right, well, happy Easter to you. This was a bit of an intense one, but I'll watch you back and, you know, but from what I'm feeling into it, I think it is. Do you know what? Just in case Mary Magdalene wants to, oh look, prayers there as well. Just in case Mary Magdalene wants to make an appearance, who wants to say hello? Oh no, it's not Mary Magdalene, it's Callie. The mother of the universe, I release all that doesn't serve me. It's time to be the truth of who I am. Well, that's very Aries season. And the warrior saying, I'm a warrior of love. My devotion attracts resources and support. Yeah, so it's been difficult. I feel this is about the feminine. It's been difficult. You've been a warrior. Definitely it's been difficult with Callie, but with Callie by your side, you can achieve anything. I work very closely with that energy too, as well as all the gentler ones. But I'm going to leave it here. Hope it meant something to you. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'm going to get this test tidied. Have a happy Easter if you celebrate, and if you don't, have a happy Sunday or whatever day you're watching this. See you later.